Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be deloading legs. So for leg deload, we're not going to need to worry about doing any of the unilateral work that we normally do. So the unilateral leg curl and leg extension, we'll not need to worry about doing that, and similarly with a leg press, we'll not need to worry about doing that. The whole idea of a deload is quite literally to kickstart the recovery process by helping to drive blood and nutrients into the muscles, the target muscles. So because we'll be doing seated leg curls and seated leg extensions with two legs, we might as well just do it with two legs rather than do it one leg at a time and then do it again. This isn't about stimulating hypertrophy, it's about recovery, kickstarting recovery. So with that in mind, we'll just be doing seated leg curls, seated leg extensions and leg press today. What I'm going to try and do with the leg press is I'm going to try and move I've been putting my feet up quite high on the plate on the leg press this mesocycle, primarily because I have really bad ankle flexion and mobility on my ankle. Both my ankles in fact, and whenever in previous mesocycles where I had my feet further down the plate, the heels were coming off quite a lot. They were coming off like a good sort of nearly 10 centimeters, a couple of inches, like on both heels. So this mesocycle I moved them further up the plate just to try and minimize that. Now I haven't been having them right to the top of the plate, and the heels have been coming off a little bit, but they've been coming off less than half a centimeter now, so it's much improved. But in this workout, because I'm going to be using so much less weight, I think we're just going to be using 110 kilos here today. I'm going to try and keep my feet as far down as I feel comfortable with, and just let my heels travel off the plate. The reason for doing that is just to let myself feel, and again I'm probably going to come down and try and rest the sled on the safety stops on the leg press. But the reason for doing that it's not about stimulating muscle growth, it's about letting me feel what that movement feels like, to come right down as far as the sled will come down by resting it in the safeties, what it feels like then driving that weight up with my heels off the plate, so that it doesn't become a completely alien sensation to me. What I might do in the next mesocycle, or maybe even the one after that, I don't know, I might start moving my feet further down the plate and allowing the heels to come off the plate a little bit, just to put a bit more emphasis onto the quads. Not that you don't hit your quads whenever you have your feet higher up the plate in the leg press, you absolutely do. It's just that your glutes and your hamstrings become more involved the higher up the plate you go. So your quads do proportionally less work, so they do. Not massively so, and you'll still, even if you have your feet right at the very top of the leg press, you'll still be hitting your quads to some extent. It's just not as much as you would do if you have them right at the very bottom of the plate. So think of it like a sliding scale that way. Anyway, similarly with the leg extension, the seated leg extension, where I would normally have, anyone that has watched any of my previous videos knows that I use a couple of squat wedges underneath my butt on the seated leg extension machine in order to try and lift my knees up and create a bit more stretch on the quad. Because this is a deload week, I'm not going to worry about doing that. I'm not going to do it because it's awkward, it's sore to sit on, but more importantly, it's not required. The whole idea of a deload, like I said, is literally to put blood into the muscle and try and kickstart the recovery process. So we'll not need to worry too much about putting squat wedges and doing all those wee ancillary things that give you a fraction of a percent, make it a fraction of a percent better for hypertrophy. Anyway, let's get to it.
I'ma gotta get it. I'ma gotta get it.
All right, that's going to do it for legs. It went pretty well today. Deloads always feel like a bit of a cheat, a bit of a cop out, because you're not moving as much weight as you can move, and you're cutting everything short. But again, that's the point of it. You're trying to kickstart recovery. You're doing active recovery rather than not hitting the gym at all. So it should feel like you're cheating. The leg extension, the leg curl went very well. Again, I felt maybe a bit more of a burn in those, and I think I said this yesterday as well. Whenever I was doing triceps yesterday, I felt a bit more of a burn in the tricep than a bit more of than a pump. But yeah, pretty good there. The leg extension, or sorry, the leg press. Like I said, I was going to do. I put my feet down close to the bottom of the foot plate, and just come right down. Let the weight nearly rest on the stops, and then drove the weight up. But yeah, I felt that went pretty good. Again, it wasn't terribly taxing, but it shouldn't be taxing. So it shouldn't. If I feel my legs sore tomorrow, I've done something wrong today. That's the way you gotta look at it. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you've enjoyed the video, feed the anabolic algorithm with a comment, shares, likes and subscribes, and catches in the next one. Take it easy.